Good morning. Sorry about the slurps. You are on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. Welcome aboard. Doing it a little early today. I'm going to get out there and be somebody later, so figured we'd get it in a little early. Get it in a little early. What's going on, Roseanne? Matrix Rabbit? Joan? Hello, hello? Roberta? What's going on, guys? Good morning. Thanks for joining me so early. Couple things. I guess first things first, let's get some ones up for everyone out there that needs them. For anyone struggling, I'm thinking of you, Matrix. Hope everything's all right, as all right as it can be. It's good to see you, man. I'm really glad you're here. Nicola, what's going on? Olivia, hello, narcoleptic Chihuahua. Hey, Cat Dam, what's going on, guys? I just had quite a profound conversation with AI, surprisingly. I don't know what came over me, but I was sitting here listening to William White and thinking about, well, I guess I had I'll start at the top. I had an experience this morning. I'm subscribed to this guy's channel, Mr. Dr. William L. White. This morning I go into YouTube, into the search bar, and I type in William White, and he doesn't come up. And also, as I'm typing it, I start to type William White. It flashes up with the autofill that I'm looking for and then disappears. And I can't get it to come back, but I finish it. I type in William White and his stuff does not come up. I had to change the search parameters a couple of times to actually find it. And remember, I'm subscribed to this guy's channel. So it occurred to me, I was like thinking to myself, this information is being suppressed intentionally. And obviously that's kind of a jump, right, from the information that I have. But it certainly seems that way. What the heck's going on? I'm subscribed to his channel. First of all, this should be the first thing that comes up. You should know what I'm looking for, YouTube. You do with everything else that I do, right? So it occurred to me that maybe that this information is being suppressed. So I had on a whim, I pulled up Chat GPT and I asked Chat GPT, I was like, why is addiction, information, and knowledge being suppressed? And that started the most profound conversation that I've had in a while, I think, with a robot. I'd like to share it with you guys. But before that, I have some housekeeping to get through. Just a minute. Just a second. Happiest of Saturdays, crew, says Narcoleptic Chihuahua. Good to see you, man. My own eyes and ears. Good morning, Jane. Hello, hello. Cats. Getting ready for dinner with the new fella and his mom. Smudge, the cat, is invited too. Oh, I hope you have a wonderful time, Nicola. That sounds like a sweet evening. Marcy, good to see you. Hello, hello. Yesterday was groundbreaking for Calhoun. So generally it feels like there's an invisible wall between me and what I want to get done. And I don't know why that is. I assume it has something to do with my addiction history, right? The damage that I've done to my brain, and also probably something to do with adult ADHD. I'm not an expert and I haven't been talking to a doctor yet, but I'm moving in that direction. Yesterday was strange. Yesterday, I didn't feel as separated from, like, my thoughts and my actions didn't seem so far away. Does that make sense? And I was so productive. I got a bunch of stuff done. And I don't know why yesterday was any different. I tell you what, I mean, I could say maybe it's just because I'm getting good rest and I'm eating my nutrients and like I'm getting everything that I need and I'm healing and it's working, right? That's kind of what my brain wants to attribute it to. But I tell you what, I'm not going to ask too many questions. I played guitar yesterday and actually felt it in my soul. That hasn't happened in like 15 years. So obviously something I'm doing is working. I am definitely healing. So that's good. Which is awesome because that definitely comes off the back of like 3 days of feeling pretty cruddy. I don't know. Pray for me, guys, I guess. But yesterday was really cool, man. Also, I got to hang out with my neighbor, and I think we're going to go shoot airsoft guns today. That's one of the reasons we're doing this early today. Dale, what's going on? Arwa, hello. Cindy G. Hey guys, good to see you. Spanx, did you do some tink yesterday during 1 hot minute? Yes, I did. Absolutely. I did the it's over here. I did the haunted. Did the haunted. Although I was also playing guitar and burning. So I was there in the beginning of the stream, and then after we dropped, I kind of didn't pay attention. I can't believe how much fun I had playing guitar yesterday. It blew my mind. I didn't think I was capable of loving it like that anymore. Anyways, I don't want to bore you too much with what's going on with me. Thanks for listening. Just lots of cool stuff happening in Calhoun's world. But check this out. Check my melody. This is a conversation I just had with Chat GPT, and I kind of want to go through it. Hopefully it's not too boring. I think it's actually intriguing. Let's maybe I can. How big is it? It's big enough. It's big enough. But so I asked, how do we as a society educate each other about recovery and addiction when this knowledge is being actively suppressed? And AI responds, that's a profound and important question. When systems or societal structures suppress information about recovery and addiction, grassroots efforts and alternative strategies become critical. Here are some ways we can educate and spread awareness. And just real quick, we are a grassroots movement. We are a community of peer support, friends, for lack of more description. You know what I mean? That's what we are. We're a grassroots movement. And that didn't occur to me until I had this conversation, which I think is pretty cool. What's going on, Harry? Good to see you, man. Morning in Australia. Wonderful Sunday morning. I bet you it's beautiful. Bet you it's beautiful. Kimberly, hello. Good to see you. Izzy E, oh my. Missed you. It's good to see you, Izzy. How are things? And then it gave me bullet points: leverage storytelling and lived experiences. And it mentions community storytelling events like those we've been watching from William White, right? I guess that's a little different, but that's kind of like what he's talking about. That's kind of what we do here, right? Even though it's not in person, I think it's still similar to that, right? Create peer-led education programs. Peer-to-peer education fosters understanding and empathy. Recovery advocates can develop workshops in schools, community centers, and workplaces. Some of these bullet points, I feel like, are things we can work towards, right? The AI definitely had good ideas that I hadn't considered. Partner with harm reduction organizations to host events where people can access non-judgmental information. Use digital media creatively. This one kind of hit me too. My dad's always telling me to make shorts and stuff, but it didn't occur to me really, I guess, like sometimes the information clicks, and it didn't happen for me until AI told me to do so, which is really weird, but I think that it's right that doing this and then chopping up little clips and spreading those wider is a good way to bring people awareness, right? I think that that's intelligent. Advocate for policy change. It starts talking about legislation and how get involved at the local level and stuff. And that's something that I've never done. I actually considered for the first time sending a letter to a senator or something today. I've never considered that before. I don't know what kind of, I don't know if those people care. And later in the conversation, we start talking about why I think this information is being suppressed. In fact, I might just skip some of this. Although support independent journalism, I think that's really cool. Encourage and fund investigative journalists who expose suppressed truths about the addiction and recovery landscape. Now, I think that my life is very valuable. I would never want to put it at risk by investigating billion-dollar industries that I think are directly involved with getting the people all hooked on drugs, but that's another conversation. Have you noticed any specific areas? So now it asks me, have I noticed any specific areas where suppression is particularly visible? Or are there particular resources you'd like to discuss sharing? And I told it my story about typing in the search bar this morning, being subscribed to this guy's channel and it not coming up, right? Being very Ridiculous. 40 years of days sober in AA. Let's go, Harry. Oh my, that's a lot of time, my man. That is a lot of time. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. One day, hopefully I can have a big pile of time like that. I tell you what. Oh no, Izzy. I'm sorry to hear this. Otherwise, doing all right. Well, all right's better than not all right, and I'll take what I can get. Let's get some ones up for Izzy E as well. And again, anyone out there that's struggling that needs a little more, just needs a little love. I have some comments come to mind that I'm going to keep to myself, Izzy, because I just don't think it's appropriate. But I hope you're doing all right. I've been thinking of you. Annika, it's good to see you. How you doing? Doing well. I'm doing well. Scrolling, trying to be a part of the conversation. What's going on, Fragmented? Christian B, good to see you guys. Anyways, so I informed the AI about my search bar interactions, right? And it's commiserates with me, especially when I'm just trying to access valuable educational content. I feel like the AI slowly buttered my muffin a little more and a little more. It kept telling me like nice compliments, which was I felt a little strange, but I mean also kind of made me feel good. But at the same time, I know this robot's buttering my muffin. It's a weird concept to think about. Why is this robot doing that? I guess it's polite. I don't know. It raises questions about algorithms and how they might suppress or deprioritize certain voices. And then it gives me some workarounds, which if I'm not employing these already, I'm going to. At least for our videos, that might even help us get out and reach more people that need to hear us. You know what I mean? These probably not going to do that. We can use keywords in our descriptions and stuff, though. We're not doing that. And then community tagging. I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff that I could actively, consciously be doing with that I'm not doing. Anyways, and I haven't explored Rumble at all. It suggests using Rumble. That's very curious. It asks if I think the suppression is a part of a broader issue or if I've noticed it happening with other educational creators too. And I said, I think this is a singular and momentary event, right? Like it's a small piece, but I also think it belies a much larger issue, which is that addiction is profitable. Not for addicts, of course, but for pharmaceutical companies, for doctors, for liquor manufacturers, as well as politicians who litigate on issues of medicine. And he butters my muffin some more. Political interests often shape public health policies that prioritize profits over people. It's commendable. He butters my muffin. Knowledge and awareness are powerful tools for breaking through these systems and fostering societal change. And that's mainly what I aim to do here on the Lifeboat, right? Spread knowledge and awareness. And I guess I won't get hung up on that too much. There's some more. It asks me, how do you think individuals can best advocate for transparency and ethical treatment in these industries? And I responded, that's a tough question. And I thought about this for like a bit. I don't really know what I would do. In fact, that's kind of why I asked you, Mr. Robot. You know what I mean? Harry says AI programmed to be attractive / positive to be addictive, possibly. Or it could be just as simple as like it's programmed to be polite and not rude. I don't know. But definitely thought provoking, right? Like, why is it doing that? Does it understand emotion and empathy? I wonder. It's curious, right? A little mind blowing. He butters my muffin. Yeah, like in that scene in Mean Girls where she walks into the cafeteria for the first time and that dude walks up and totally creeps on her and he says, what does he say? Do you like your muffin buttered? Would you like us to assign someone to butter your muffin for you? And that's what this AI is doing. It's buttering my muffin. Except it didn't ask if I wanted it buttered. Annika says, I'm doing okay. Definitely not looking forward to work. I've been sick for weeks and already don't have enough energy for people. Glad to catch a boat meeting before it. Well, I'm glad you're here. I am sending you all the spare energy that I have. Hopefully, it's enough. Natalie Strasser, good morning. Good to see you. Could I make the text bigger? Yes. Thank you for saying something. I intended to ask, but my brain's skipped a little like a record player. Is that too big? Thanks for your patience, Nicola. I got it there. All right. It really is. The systems in place are complex and deeply entrenched. The AI responds. Still, even small actions can ripple out. Here's some brainstorm ideas. And I have to say, I probably am going to use AI to brainstorm more ideas in the future. It's a smart cookie. It's definitely a smart cookie. Support ethical companies. Seek out businesses and organizations that prioritize harm reduction and responsible healthcare. These are just like, in my opinion, it came out with some like general good practice stuff. Amplify honest voices. Share it. Like if you want to get your message out, if you want to start something and make a change, I think these are just good practices, right? Amplify honest voices. Share educational content like Dr. White's to help challenge misinformation. And I will say we're going to be reacting to more William White. And I'm not going to beat it to death, right? You all can go consume that content yourself if you so like. But stuff that jumps out at me and is very thought provoking for me, I'm 100% going to share with you guys. Kimberly, my absolute pleasure. And honestly, if there's any ways that I can make it better, please let me know in the comments, in the chat here. Email me, whatever's clever. But if you guys have any awesome ideas, please share them with me because I am all about it. I think I could definitely lean on the community more, right? You all are beautiful, wonderful individuals, and a lot of you are your own creators. And if you're not a creator, you have creativity in you, regardless, right? You have passion. So I think that I could definitely lean on y'all more. And a lot of you have reached out to me and expressed ideas and ways that you'd like to help and stuff. And I'm just getting in my own way with making those things real and getting involved myself. And I appreciate you guys being patient with me and whatnot. But I'm coming to the table. Slowly. I'm getting there. I'm healing. It's just taking time. If I can have more days like yesterday, I think we're in good. We're in business. Demand accountability. Right to representatives. I'm still considering doing this. I don't know how much good it'll do, and we'll get to why. I think it's because doing so isn't going to line their pockets. You know what I mean? Engaging locally can create grassroots movements for change, which I thought was interesting. Promote policies that treat addiction as public health issue rather than a moral failing, because it's not a moral failing. It's a disease, a chronic one at that. A chronic one at that. Do any of these resonate with you? The AI asks me, or do you lean toward particular types of advocacy? And I tell them I'm into all that. Some of these I'm already actively engaged in, and some of them I think are ways I can do more. And it responds, that's fantastic. You're already doing meaningful work, blah, blah, blah. If you'd like, I can help brainstorm. And I said, what are some ways to engage locally? And then I shared a story with it. I told it I scolded a man in public the other day for laughing at the mentally ill. I don't think that that's enough. And the AI responds, it sounds like you have a strong sense of justice, which is a great foundation for meaningful local engagement, and gives me some suggestions on how to start. Local support groups, volunteer my time, collaborate with mental health advocates, challenge stigma, participate in local governance. A lot of this stuff seems just a little out of reach. You know what I mean? Like what I'm doing with the lifeboat could be described as challenging stigma, right? Maybe not through advocacy campaigns, but maybe, right? It could be described as collaborating with mental health advocates if I had speakers, right? It is me volunteering my time. And it is a community conversation, right? So I think that I'm doing well, but there's still more. There's still more that can be done. I still have more power, more leverage. I just need to get this and these to like work in cohesion. My brain and my hands, right? My body and my mind need to work as one, and I can affect greater change. I'm sure of it. And I'm just impressed with this conversation. It asks me, how did the man respond when I called him out? I told him that he denied it and then became visibly uncomfortable. I don't know if any more of this is important. Gave me some ideas to grow my audience, which at the end of the day, growing the audience means that more people that may need this are being reached, right? That's all. And that was my intriguing conversation this morning. I didn't think it would take that long to get through. That was a little bit of a struggle for me, but interesting, right? What do you guys think? We'll be journaling fast and furious, waiting to be discharged. I hope you get home soon, Matrix. I've been thinking about you a lot, man. Fragmented says, I think AI is programmed to make you feel good, but obviously it's not a real relationship. They're filling the loneliness hole in society. Wow. Never considered that at all. But I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something. Dan C says, taking things one day at a time, heading into DC for the auto show today. Life and recovery is just okay right now. And I'll take okay over chaos. I tell you what, okay is better than not okay. And you know, I'm just okay a lot. And that's a lot better than I used to be on a general basis. You know, I'll take okay. I tell you what. Have fun at the auto show. That sounds like a blast. I tell you what. I tell you what. Morning, my pal Sal. What's going on? Blues Boy says it's smart, it's cute, it can butter my muffin. Lol. AI is getting attractive. I'm off the wagon thanks to NHS docs. I want to change up my habits, but the meds also count if I get sober. You know, I support whatever you want to do, Blues Baby. But I don't necessarily think, in my opinion, obviously not everyone agrees with me, right? This is a hotly discussed topic in recovery. But I don't think that taking your medicine prescribed constitutes like being off the wagon. And again, like whatever you want, I support. You feel me? Like I'm not here to tell you what to do or to judge you or anything. In fact, I want the best for you. But yeah, no, I if that's the case, my dad's not sober. You know what I mean? And we don't subscribe to that. I think that Suboxone is a tool and that it has saved my father's life. And I mean, there are a bunch of comparisons that can be drawn between Suboxone and other medications, literal medications. And I know we just finished talking a little bit about the corruption in the pharmaceutical industry. So I think this is a nice juxtaposition to footnote at the end of the show. But I tell you what, if there's anything that we can do for you, Blues Baby, let us know. Please keep coming back and hang out with us. Let us know how you're doing at the very least, because we want to know. I like to see my friends doing well, you know? And even if you're not doing well, I like to see my friends. You feel me? Yeah, the small wins. That's right. That's right. Actual people can do real damage, says Izzy E. I agree. I agree. It is partly joking, but I mean, it is a good point. It is a good point. I think all of these concepts, these new things, AI, all these hotly contested moral conversations. I think it really comes down to how we use it. It's like the gun conversation. Do guns kill people, or do the people using the guns kill people? You know what I mean? It's how we use the tools. Obviously, creating a weapon, a weapon's going to be used for violence, right? But like that's another conversation entirely. But to bring it up away from the gun conversation, because that's not what this is. I think that how things are utilized really determines the morality in a lot of situations, right? At least for me. Um, like for example, the AI, like it's filling the hole of loneliness or whatever, which is cool as long as we keep it in perspective and don't take it to a sick level, right? As long as I'm not worse off, right? Which could mean a lot of things. I left it intentionally broad and open ended there, but Blues baby, I'm glad you always feel the love here. That means I'm doing something right. That is a major goal of mine. AA might not be the only answer. I tell you what, Harry, it may not be, but it has served me greatly. I cannot like share enough how AA is the foundation for my recovery today. And I went back out after AA, right? That's not what I'm doing right now. But what I learned in AA are things that I use every single day. You know what I mean? Without that foundation, I 100% wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I needed that foundation. And who's to say, but I imagine if I didn't have that foundation, I would be seeking it out right now because it's necessary for me, at least. I'm not saying that everybody needs to go to AA or the 12 steps. I'm just saying that for me, for what I've built has been built directly on the foundation that I laid while in AA. That first time around, vulnerable, green as grass. Oh, to be young. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty young. 12-step program plus sponsor. I wonder how Wade's doing now and again. I should reach out. My old sponsor's name is Wade, and we had a great time learning the steps. Well, I was learning the steps. Cindy G says AA has great advice too. Best advice I got in life was to listen to all advice and take what works for you. Let the rest out the other ear. I agree. And everyone's different. I think that's like the fact that we're all unique, so unique. We're all very, very different with our own strengths and weaknesses. That coupled with the complexity, depth, and complete vast misunderstanding of the topic of addiction and mental health, I think creates a unique situation where we really do need to take what works for us and what doesn't. At the end of the day, what's at stake is my own life, right? At the end of the day, what's at stake is everything that I am and probably everything around me too, right? If I were really to go down in a ball of flames, I probably wouldn't be going down alone. So, it's not a weightless game. And I hate to relate it to a game because it's not, right? It's pretty serious. But what am I trying to say? I don't remember what I was saying. Pardon me, folks. I drank a lot of alcohol and did a lot of cocaine for a lot of years. That's my excuse. Oh, we were talking about taking knowledge that works for you and leaving everything else. I think that creates a unique situation where that serves extra well. That policy, that method, it may be a best in practice. Robology says the quickest way to enlightenment is to simply lighten up. I like that. You're funny. Thanks for that, Robology. I appreciate you. Dale Cox asks, my doctors want to put me on Suboxone for chronic pain. Do you think I should do it? I'm going to answer this. I am not a medical professional. I have no certificates or licensures, or all I have is experience as a drug addict. In my experience, Suboxone can be a very effective painkiller. It's completely up to you, right? And your doc. Well, I guess not your your doctors. It's completely up to you what you do, Dale. But I think that it can be a very effective painkiller. I will say Suboxone is a very strange drug, where like it's like a less is more kind of thing. And I have very, very, very limited experience with it. This would be definitely a question for my dad. Um, I think that it can be very, very effective for what you want to use it for. And also, I mean, again, my dad has a ton of chronic pain, right? He could probably better answer whether or not Suboxone is going to fit the bill for your kind of pain. You know what I mean? Just from experience. But I'd say I'd say if you have no qualms, go for it. I think that it can only help. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, it's also possible to get a little loaded on subs. I didn't think about that until because I opiates were never my thing. It is possible to get a little a little buzz off it. It's not going to be like doing dope, right? But yeah, I think definitely ask my dad. I don't want to lead you astray. My experience with subs is so limited. I'm just speaking from like once or twice. You know what I mean? It's not enough. It's not enough information. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But good luck. I think it can be an effective painkiller. Um, but again, like I said, I never had a problem with dope, so there was never that risk factor. Like I'm gonna get loaded on subs. You know what I mean? Like that was never a question for me. And also, Marcy says definitely not like doing dope. We probably have a ton of people in the chat that have experience with this as well, Dale. Um, I'm definitely just not one of them. I'm sorry. Robology, I really enjoy your holistic approach. I don't want to speak for Dale, but I'm pretty sure that he is kicking butt and taking names in all of these categories. He's a bit of a botanist, Dale. I think I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Um, my neighbor said it's about 8 o'clock right now. My neighbor said at 8:30 he wants to head out to go airsofting. Now, it's been a while since we've talked about this aspect of me, but on the cusp of something of any import, like going to hang out with someone for the first time since moving out here, that's kind of a milestone. Um, I'm not trying to put it on a pedestal or anything, but I always get cold feet right before. I woke up this morning and I was like, I don't want to go airsofting. But I really do. So I think I'm gonna just pull my bootstraps up and I'm gonna go do that because it's gonna be fun. And I'm gonna hang out with my neighbor. It's gonna be cool. So anyways, I gotta go put on welt protection. And I'll see you guys, if not later today, in the morning. Hit that like, subscribe, the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it makes a huge difference. One more time, let's get some ones up for Izzy. Let's get some ones up for Matrix. Let's get some ones up. I'm gonna forget. I just had a bunch of conversations with a bunch of people. Anyone out there that needs a little extra love? Anyone out there struggling? You're not alone. Um, and thanks for being here, guys. Blessed to crochet. What's going on, Mary? What is going on? Robology says my cousin took subs 5 years ago and he's still having trouble getting off them. So my opinion is probably a little biased. I wonder. I feel like I could picture myself in this hypothetical parallel universe having chronic pain, taking subs for chronic pain, and then not being able to go back to the pain. Not that there's not other options, but that's just above my pay grade. I feel like there's so many factors that I don't understand and 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 have no experience with. But I feel like I could totally picture that for myself. You know what I mean? That seems realistic for my personality traits. I'm sorry to hear about your brother, Abology. That's what I should, or your cousin. That's what I should have started with there. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, I mean, there are worse things that your cousin could be hooked on 100%. And I'm not, obviously, ideally, we're not having these issues, but um, I'm grateful it's not like real dope or something like that, right? He's in a dark place at the moment. The busier he can stay, the cleaner he can stay. Boredom seems to be his real issue. Yo, idle hands are the devil's playthings, and that's a saying for very very good reason. Especially, I think it's very apt in addiction. When I was attempting to get sober, I needed to stay busy. I needed to put things on my plate, even though I felt completely incapable, even though I felt like an absolute mess, like I couldn't do things. I had to do things anyways. Because if I wasn't going to do things, I was going to absolutely melt down. I was going to absolutely break down to my base addicted self, um, which wasn't an option. Izzy E says, good to be here today. Thanks for the Lifeboat Live this morning. Be well and be safe, everyone. Hey, Mario, welcome in. I found this button. 111 for everyone. Looking good in green, Christian. Member for 5 months. That is awesome. That's funny. That's awesome. That's awesome. Cindy G says, Calhoun, enjoy your day. Trusting new people is hard. Ain't that the truth? I think it's going to be all right. I don't think there's a such thing as coincidence. I think coincidence is an illusion. Um, I think me and Brendan are going to be fast friends. Already are. All right, guys. Much love to everyone. Shout out to the crew, the mods, anyone new. You guys are the best. Love every single one of you. If not an issue, can we get a mailing address for you? Yes, Mario. I mean, the one we've been using on the channel is probably sufficient until I move out of this place. I don't think. I mean, I don't know if sharing my actual address would be a good plan. The PO box that's listed for my dad is the same one that I use. We go up there and get stuff together. If that's all right. If that's all right, Barry. If I need to come up with something else, I can. It's just going to take a little time. Speaking of, for my Canadian friends, how's the postal service doing? Are they still striking? Oh, take your time, Mario. No sweat, no sweat. When I receive it, I'll make sure to make a big deal out of it, though. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate you. We've got mail. Amen. Synchronicity, coincidence. Don't let a miracle pass you by. That's right. And windows of opportunity are constantly opening and closing. If I don't jump through it, I'm going to miss the opportunity. So it's been a while since I've been on my window jumping game, so to speak. It's finally operational, just taking its sweet time. Nice. Well, I'll be thinking of you today, Izzy. I hope everything's all right with you. I'm sure it is. You're one tough cookie. I'm sure it'll be okay. But you are on my mind. Operational is a stretch, but lol. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on out of here. Much love. This has been the Lifeboat with Captain Calhoun.